today we'll talk about like a idea about how to do a data science project. We'll try to understand like a different stages of the project. So yeah, we have started with the machine learning. We are able to understand a few terminology related with the ML, like supervise and all those parts, like overfitting. What is all those parts we are able to understand. So right now we'll try to understand like how actually like a data science project is going to be there in the industrial point of view. Okay, so it's like a purely industrial point of view. So even how we do the project, so that I'm going to talk about. So you are going to get a whole picture, whole idea. So yeah, so slowly even we are going to learn the machine learning and all those parts, but you will get a idea like how actually the what are the going to be the steps, and when the data science project is fails. That is why I'm going to talk about like many times. I would say many. I would say like even there are like a 10 projects in the companies are doing. Out of that, maybe like a 5 to 6 are going to fail. So they are not even go to the production. So we'll talk about that. So we'll try to understand the what is like a problem with that type of things. Okay. So fine. So first thing is okay. So we are going to start with the any project with some kind of a problem statement. Okay. So there is going to be some kind of a problem statement. Yes, so there is going to be like a problem statement. So what is this problem statement? So basically, what is the problem we are going to solve? So yes, that problem can be anything. It can be any related to any field, any business problem. So that we have to like understand. So like to understand the problem statement, the first thing is like you have to have the business knowledge and or the domain knowledge. I would like a domain knowledge is going to be a proper word. Okay. So now the question is now you are going to tell me, okay, sir, like how to get this domain knowledge, how so I'm like not maybe I'm like I've got hired into some kind of finance company. Maybe some of you are going to get hired in some kind of a other company. So they are going to have different domain. So don't worry, there will be always a person like a it's going to be a domain expertise person. Okay, so always there is going to be a domain expertise person. So that is going to help you out to understand the problem statement. If it's from finance background, so there will be some kind of a domain expert from the finance background. And like if it's a healthcare domain, there is going to be some kind of a doctor or some kind of a healthcare expert with you always to guide you the project. So basically to make you understand all the problem statement that is going to help you out like different people are going to be there. So first thing I want to clear it out. So many people think like, okay, data science is all it's all about coding. No, it's not only about coding, and not even it's not only about building a model. Okay, so as a data scientist is like a high post, so that is nothing but a problem solver. You have to be like a problem solver. So yes, so basically all the resources are going to be there with you. So even like a business people are going to be there with you. Some cases the clients are going to be with you. So even like if you are in some kind of service based company, so in that case you are going to have a client, and that client is going to have some kind of a problem statement, right? So fine. So basically let's assume that, okay, let's assume that I want to create some kind of a data science model for some kind of a diabetes disease. Yeah. So basically I don't have any idea about like how this like a diabetes can be it can be like identified. So I don't know like what is the criteria and all those things. So yes, you will be doing a research on that topic. So like there will be a domain expertise. You can ask the question, sir, I want to build this type of model. There will be a discussion, and on the basis of the discussion we are going to select the data. So after that we are going to start with the data selection. Okay, so data selection. So fine. So next stage is like a data selection. So it's one of the most important part. So basically I want to select the data, right? So maybe there is one problem. For that problem I want to select the data. So for selecting the data, obviously there's going to be a team that is going to help you out. So yes, like a data science project is going to be like a always a team of like a maybe 10 to 20 people, or maybe like more than that, depending on the like a project that you are going to do. So yes, you are going to select the data. So now even so maybe sometimes you have to extract the data. So basically in the data selection there is also like a n numbers of steps, and these three the steps I am not showing you. It's not a thumb rule. Okay, it's not a thumb rule. Just don't try to okay just make it like okay this after this you're going to do this test. No, it can be vary from the projects and projects. It so there can be a small changes in the steps also, and maybe like there is a like some stages are going to be before and some going to be after. So it is going to be depending on the projects, but I'm just going to give you like some general idea how the exactly projects are going to be there in terms of industry. Okay, fine. So basically data selection. So like what type of like now like there like if you are aware about the databases, so maybe like if you are dealing with some kind of client, so client maybe give you your data in the CSV format. So you are going to get rarely so like a CSV and all this format, but most of the thing you have to extract the data. So maybe they are going to have some kind of SQL server, maybe they are going to have NoSQL, MongoDB. you have to extract the data. Maybe like a Hadoop systems, you have to use some kind of a ETL tools or all those tools. So yes, this is like a SQL, MongoDB, Hadoop, and n numbers of things are there. So you have to maybe extract the data from some kind of website, even the web scraping you have to do, and n numbers of things are there in terms of like extracting the data. So this is like a whole step of data extraction, I would call. So like we are going to select the data, then we are going to do data extraction. Extraction is simply means how I'm able to get the data in my hand. Fine. So SQL, MongoDB, Hadoop, okay. So sometimes what happened in this also, like there are like n numbers of stages we follow in terms of industry. So even we try to validate the data. So even we try to validate the data. So how we generally going to validate? Let's assume that, okay, so some company has given us data. So maybe it's in the form of JSON or maybe some other format. So what we'll do, we'll try to validate this. I will just try to confirm. So basically, you are not going to get whole data in one CSV file, right? So there can be a chances that there you are going to get 100 CSV file, and maybe you have to apply the merge application that I have showed you, like how to merge all the data sets. So that you have to do. So that company is going to provide you. Sometimes there can be a problem in the files, so maybe by mistake there is like some error in the file. That's possible because it's a data. So they are giving it to you. It can be possible that some file is not from CSV extension. So it can be a possibility. So we'll try to check if there is some kind of its data is in the proper format or not. It's in the like a .csv file only. Whatever they are telling us, it's exact the same data or not. So validation that we have to do. It's not like that. Okay. So the client is giving me data. It's always going to be a validated no. So in the real world, that is a problem. It's your job only. So it's not like that. Okay, they are giving us data. It's their job. No. As a data scientist, you have to like even some cases you have to validate the data. You have to check it out. Okay, that data is in the right format or everything. So whatever the things that you are going to do. So when we are going to validate, sometimes we have to extract the data by ourselves. Maybe they are going to give in the data in the batch format, and n numbers of things are there in terms of like a data selection, all those things. Don't worry, this is not a job of one person. So there will be a data engineer here. So the data engineer, he's going to extract the data from the like different sources. So data engineer is specially for that, and like a big data engineer, there are n numbers of decision, but you should know. Okay, so as a data scientist, you should have a whole idea about the project, how exactly it's happening. So after that, like what we'll do, we'll try to apply. So I've got the data. I'm going to understand the domain. What is the problem with the domain? So yes, for that problem, I have to do the research. So I have to talk with them, like whatever the things I have to cover it. So sometimes what happens, like I will tell you. So what is a very big problem right now? So many people, yeah. So many people are aware, like data is a fuel. I can build any model, but some cases, so data is not a right way to predict something. If I'm going to give you the example, if suppose in the future, so like there are many people like in our batch only, so previous batch, so what they wanted to do, they wanted to build a model like that is going to predict the stock market price. But the thing is like even like they are going to have a previous year's data, you can easily get it by the some kind of a by some kind of a like a APIs, all those part. So the problem with this is it's not only the data. Basically, just try to understand if I want to predict the stock market price. So maybe like what will be the stock price daily. So it's not always that it's going to depend on the previous price or maybe what are the data I have. But there are other factors also that are responsible to that to event occur. So same thing. So maybe like let's assume that there is some stock. So maybe Reliance stock or maybe, so let's talk about the Reliance stock. So maybe like the news, basically the always the stock price is not dependent on the data. Basically whatever the data I have received of the, but the news, so like a news, what is the news going on? So there is a like right now there is a like a case between the Amazon and the Reliance. So that is going to like there is some kind of case. So my stock market is going to down, but in the data it's not there. This information is missing. So basically, I can't guarantee that my data is I'm going to get a whole story. So we call it as a story. What is the meaning of story? That simply means all the references. If I want to predict something, I need all the references. It's not necessary that all the data is going to have all those points, right? So that is the problem. So news, it's not going to contain, and maybe there is some kind of a company like maybe they have given some kind of a profit, they have generated some kind of profit. Maybe like some in some scenarios, real world scenarios, they are going to happen. Even like a COVID. So COVID occur and all the market got crashed down. So we can't predict that this was like a event. So it was a particularly event that occurred suddenly, and due to which the stock market price got the lockdown. But data is not able to describe that, right? So data I'm only going to have. So if I'm going to show you the data of the like a stock market. So I have the data. I will show you to you. So let me just show it to you. Okay, this is like a data of the Apple. Just a minute. Okay. So basically, this is the data of the like a stock market data. Okay, so like this is like a stock market data. So at this year, that was the rate that if that price it closed, it was a high. So what time it opens. So this is the data, but I would say this data is going to define me any event, right? So it's not going to give me exact picture, but still I can do a prediction, but I can do a technical analysis. I'm going to call it as a, so from like a stock market view, it's called as technical analysis. Yeah, that's fine. You can do a stock market analysis. You can also predict till one extent, but there are also other factors. There are going to be other factors that are affecting my stock market price. So events, news, scenarios, but that is the information is missing from this. So I can say it's not, I can say exactly, sometimes like we try to predict something but information is insufficient. That is the biggest problem, and due to which many data science project fails. This is the only reason. So insufficient data set, and many people are not able to understand like what exactly are like we are looking for, what exactly is the story behind that. That is a problem, I would say. So every time it's not necessary that it's going to give us the whole story of the data. So fine, that is how like you will be feeling this like a problem in terms of like a data selection and the like a whole story you are not going to get. So fine, this was like a data selection. You are going to choose the data on the basis of like a domain expertise and all those things. After that, okay, you have got the data, you will try to do a statistical analysis. So what is the statistical analysis? We will try to find out like a basic thing that we have done, the shape of the data, how many rows are there, like a, okay, so here statistical, or I would say like a basic analysis you are going to do. So it's a basic is the right word. So analysis, you are going to do it. Okay. So statistic basic analysis you're going to do, you're going to see number of rows, which data is in, it's in the format, like how many columns are there and all the other things. Okay. And like sometimes, so basically what happens generally, so many times there will be no feature available. So maybe the column that you are looking for, that is not there. Okay. So maybe maybe there is going to be a case. So you want the age of person, but exactly the age of person will be not given in the data set. So maybe there is going to be only the DOB of the person. So you can easily, if you have the DOB of the person, you can easily extract the age from that column, right? You can easily convert a date of like a, basically you can just do the calculation. So yeah, so that type of thing also you will be able to do like like I would say, I will write it down. So data transformation. Okay, we are generally going to do the data transformation as well. If I'm looking for more features, okay, I can derive, basically data transformation is nothing, I'm just deriving the column on the basis of the data I have. That also I'm able to do that. Fine. So derivation of new column in terms of data transformation, all those things I'm going to do it in terms of data transformation. I'm going to derive n numbers of things. Fine. After that, maybe I'm going to start with the EDA part. So like a EDA, exploratory data analysis, that we have seen. So I've teach you like a pandas profiling and suite visualization. So that also you can use it, and even you can do it. So simple visualization, you can do it by yourself. You know how to find out the mean, how to check out the missing values, all the parts. So what is the missing values, and even the I've shown you pandas already. So it's going to give you all the information about the data. So what is this EDA? So in the EDA, my aim is to understand the data. So understanding the data basically. So here my whole aim is going to be understanding my data set. So what is my data set? So what the columns it has, what is the mean? I would say what are the missing values, and n numbers of things I'm going to understand. I'm going to find out, okay, there is some kind of relation between these two columns by us doing the scatter plot and n numbers of plot. I will try to understand, like I will try to understand. If you're going to understand the data more accurately, I would say like you're going to understand the data deeply, then only you will be able to do like a modeling and all those parts. So it's an important part. Okay. So after that, okay, I think I need to take next page. So it's continued from here. So after that, we'll generally try to do a normalization. So I'm going to talk about what is the meaning of normalization, standardization. We are going to do a standardization. Standardization. So normalization and standardization is nothing. Basically, if you're aware about like a standardization, so the Z statistics. So it's the formula that we have seen. So Z, I think X minus U upon the standard deviation. That is like a Z statistical formula. So if you remember, like in the Z statistic, what we used to do. So we used to bring our data where my mean, my basically whatever the mean is going to be previously. If I'm going to use this formula, my new mean is going to be 0 and my standard deviation is going to be 1. So what I'm trying to do, basically, I'm just trying to make my data closer. Okay, I'm just trying to make my data closer. Basically, I'm just trying to reduce the outliers. Basically, I'm just trying to reduce. I can say I'm just making my data closer. That is the reason. So why we do that? So because see, many like I would say like a machine learning models are sensitive towards the outlier. So even the linear regression, there we are going to understand why it's sensitive. So we generally do normalization and channelization, and this is going to make get more clear to you when we will be doing that. So after that, after the AD only, so you will be able, like you will be able to understand what type of model selection I should do. So model selection. So we are going to have n numbers of algorithms. So basically, I will try to see what type of data I have. On the basis of, I will try out some kind of a model. Maybe I'm going to see if there is some kind of linear relationship I can observe it. I'm going to use linear regression. If I'm not able to find out any other relation, I will try to use some other model, and I'm trying to experiment. Okay, I will try to experiment this model. So this is nothing but a model selection. After I'm going to do a model testing. So basically, I'm going to take one more other. I'm going to try out the testing different models, and after that, I'm going to evaluate this model. Okay, so after that, I'm going to evaluate this model. So there are like n numbers of things by we can evaluate the model by accuracy, by confusion matrix. So we are going to learn that. So confusion matrix, or I would say some kind of MSE score, and n numbers of things are there. We are going to evaluate. So we are trying to see what is my testing accuracy, what is my training accuracy. All those parts we are going to see, and on the basis of that, we are going to evaluate the model. After that, so even I want to increase the accuracy of my model. So after that, I will go for hyperparameter tuning. So it's a new word. Just try to you will be able to understand it slowly. So hyperparameter. Okay, it's a P. Okay, yeah, parameter. Okay, hyperparameter tuning. So it is used to many algorithm is going to take some kind of a parameter. Okay, so we'll try out different parameter, and we'll try to increase the accuracy of our model. So yes, we are going to see it this practically also. So don't worry, even we are not going to understand right now, but it is like the thing that we're going to do. It is going to increase the accuracy of our model. So it is going to increase the accuracy of my model. That is the reason we are going to do that. Fine. So after that, like what we'll do after that, okay, fine. So I'm deciding now, fine. I have tested all the models. I have done the hyperparameter tuning. So I am going to save this model in my hard drive. Save the model. So there are like a pickle by which I can say what are the model I have created. So okay, save the created model. Okay. So basically, when I'm going to select some kind of a model, that simply means it is going to go into the production. Okay, so it is going to go into the production if I'm going to save this model. So basically, I'm going to give this binary to deployment engineer, or maybe there's going to be some kind of software developer. This model, I'm going to give it to them. Okay, so this model, what they will do, they will try to deploy this model. So they will try to deployment of this model is going to happen. That simply means we are trying to deploy this model for the end user. Okay, so deployment on the clouds. So there are n numbers of cloud service, AWS, Azure, even like a Heroic is there. So it's a free platform for data scientists. You can also it's for free for everyone. So if I want to create it, so fine. So deployment is there, cloud services, everything, all the points you're going to deploy it on some kind of a basically a server. Fine. So after that, okay, fine. So here it's not like an end. So basically, from like a industry point of view, yeah. So now this got deployment. Okay, means my here I have just created a model. It's in the production. Production simply means my end user can use this model. So after that, I'm going to get some kind of feedback. So here I'm going to get some kind of feedback. So maybe it's not always necessary that in one go you are going to create a best model, and there is going to be some kind of feedback from the I'm going to receive. So maybe my model is not performing up to the mark. So same thing. So if I'm going to going to get a feedback, even in the deployment, what we do, we create a logs. Okay. So now it's these are the terms you're not going to hear it in terms of data scientists, but we have the idea. So we are going to tell you what is the meaning of basically the logs. So see, basically I'm going to design some kind of a model. So in the end user, so basically, so if it's in the use right now, so let's talk about the Alexa and a Google Home, what they are doing. So now their end application is in the use right now. So basically, whatever the voice you're telling to it, so whatever the voice you're going to tell it to it, they many, I would say many Google and Alexa, they are, I would say they are recording it. Okay, they are recording it on their server, and that is nothing but a log basically. So they are creating a logs. So they are going to so in the future I'm going to like understand these logs. I will try to see if my it's able to give a right response to the right query or not. So yeah, these are the logs that are going to be get created for whenever my prediction is going to be there. So log is going to be there for n numbers of models. We try to create the logs. We just try to store a data set what our system has predicted and what was the input, what was the input and what my system was predicted in the real world. So yes, we'll try to understand this. After that, we'll try to go through it. Okay, so after that we'll try to go through it. So maybe there is going to be some kind of a problem, and I will try to retrain my model. Okay, so this is the life cycle of a data scientist. So this is a part you are going to do it, fine. And like don't try to like make it, it's like a fixed path, so it's going to be varying